Thank you very much, Val, and good night to all our viewers by whatever media one has chosen to tune in to this very important forum. As the Press Secretary outlined, Leadership Matters was intended to bring the leadership of the country to the front line as part of our agenda of accountability, and to have the leaders speak to the people and the people raise those issues which were of concern to their lives. We had a break, as was outlined, just before the general elections, which were held on the 5th of June 2020. And in this regard, since this is our first return to this forum, I want to place on record my own personal gratitude to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and the electorate in particular for giving a resounding victory to the Team Unity movement and returning the Team Unity administration to office to continue and to deliver on the safer and stronger future which we promise. The elections are still fresh, and the statistics perhaps should be repeated. The Team Unity won a landslide 9 out of 11 electoral seats on St. Kitts and Nevis. Team Unity received a swing of just around 6% of the votes. We won constituency number 3, and I want to commend Mrs. Akila Byron Nisbet, who brought that home where it rightfully belonged, to the People's Labour Party, where Labour values are practiced. St. Christopher 3 is a seat that has never, before the elections of 2020, been outside of the fold of the Labour Party, hitherto the Workers' League. And Akila brought it home with a commanding swing of 6.6%. We won St. Christopher 2, which was held by Marcella Liebert 10 years previous, and that came to Team Unity with a swing of 5.1%. I want to commend Mr. John L. Powell, who brought that seat home to Team Unity. The CCM brought the 3 seats in Nevis, Nevis 9, Nevis 10, and Nevis 11. Special commendation, of course, I must give to my constituents in St. Christopher 7, who gave me some 1,870 votes versus 607 to my opponent. It was the largest and the best performance that my constituents have returned since 1993. So I owe them a special debt of gratitude, which I shall work hard to repay during this term. In constituency number 6, the Labour stronghold, there was a swing against Denzel Douglas of around 16%, and Denzel Douglas lost over 1,000 voters between the 2 elections. Labour, I'm advised, managed about 10,455 votes, compared to Team Unity's 15,298. This then represents a significant development from 2015, when Team Unity won a majority of seats but lost on the popular votes. If the calculations are correct, since 2010, Labour has lost over 2,000 voters. This has been the Labour Party's worst percentage on record since 1952. So for those who are interested in history and statistics, there is quite a lot to think about in terms of the results. The elections really were about the future, and in that regard, we had committed that we will build upon the very successful agenda we had put before the people over the last 5 years, and that for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, the program in large measure will be about how do we build this safer and stronger future in the aftermath of COVID-19. Tonight, as part of the commitment to that safer and stronger future, I am delighted to have with me the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Hilroy Brandy, and our National Security Advisor, Major Stuart Sanders, to be part of this panel, as they are on the front line of the program for delivering the safer future to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I think that we should start on a note of commendation to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, to the security force, a note of commendation by the citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis to the security forces who have done such a tremendous job. 2019, we had one of the most significant reduction in major crimes in the country, and 2020 continues so far to be equally significant in terms of the improvement in the security and safety of our country. So to all our security officers who have worked so hard to keep the country safe prior to COVID-19, during COVID-19, and continuing into an election that has received international note, because it was the first general elections, perhaps outside of Guyana, that was held when one country was in the midst of a COVID pandemic. And so other countries who have to face the democratic process are looking to the experience of St. Kitts and Nevis to see how they will move. I am happy to report that the international observers who came to St. Kitts and Nevis gave the democratic process a clean bill of health, and they have written that the outcomes reflected well the will of the people. Let us also then commend the police forces, because I am advised that the general elections were held without any major incident. That is in stark contrast to what happened in 2015. In 2015, going into the general elections, the country was very tense. And indeed, I could recall very vividly that on election day, the gunshots were going out in Connery in particular. So again, I want to say thank you to Commissioner Brandy, to Lieutenant Colonel Cumry, and all the other agencies involved in the preservation of law and order. I say a hearty thank you on behalf of a grateful nation. Over the 20-week period from January 1st to June 21st, I'm advised that the total major crimes in the Federation fell by a significant 43%, from 697 reported crimes in 2019 to 399 major crime recorded over the comparative period in 2020. Major areas of reduction include homicides, with the possession of firearms, which dropped by 73%. Non-fatal shootings were down 88%, and robberies also were down. St. Kitts recorded a 41% reduction, and Nevis recorded a 53% reduction in major crimes. Mr. Brandy, of course, will have more to say about the crime statistics and what they reflect in terms of the quality of public safety and security at this particular moment in time. Sorry. Our success on keeping our people safe, of course, has beneficial effects for our society as a whole. A free and safer environment everywhere, including our hospitals, our places of business, and our places of work, all redound to greater production and productivity. the result of better policing, effective collaboration across our security forces, including the police, the defense force, Her Majesty's prison, the new and revised interventions such as TAPS, the Explorers Club build-out, the Peace Initiative, the development of our own forensic capacity and capability in St. Kitts and Nevis, the increase in the quality and quantity of assets provided to law enforcement, and the improvement in the number of persons trained over the last 5 years, all would have accounted in some measure to the significant peace dividend which we are now realizing. I think that the achievements in law and order, the reduction in crime, the safety and security which we now enjoy and some take for granted, at this particular moment in time, we should give good consideration and commendation to the security forces. So I'm delighted that Mr. Brandy is here, and he will deal in more detail with matters related to that particular aspect of our work. In terms of the stronger and safer future, we can commit to continue the hard work to bring even better results in terms of our efforts at enhancing public safety and security. Without that peace, without the safety, the stronger and safer future would be elusive. We have a platform on which to move forward, where we have to make the best of that opportunity and disregard our program for education and indeed our efforts to ensure that we modernize and rehabilitate all our education systems will continue. We will of course continue programs, sports, entertainment, talent development, all targeting our young people who really need constructive areas of engagement if we are to turn away from a life of lawlessness. In conclusion, I want to end my brief introductory remarks by saying that the administration which I lead will never get tired of protecting the people. Indeed, in the first term, repeatedly I said that there is no limit to which we will go to ensure peace and security in the country. And we took a number of brave initiatives which some did not understand or did not take time to understand. We brought in the RSS in the country. We introduced or supported the Peace Initiative, all of which in the end assist us in some measure to deliver on the safer St. Kitts and Nevis. We have shown that as a government, we were quite capable to protect the country in normal times and in abnormal times as we now are existing in the context of the global pandemic. And I promise the people of St. Kitts and Nevis that we will be tough in law enforcement when the circumstances require, and yet the compassionate hand of our social intervention programs will always be there to redeem our people even as they continue on the road to Damascus. We need a peaceful society for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to be able to pursue their dreams and build a life for themselves and their family. My Team Unity administration remains determined to deliver a stronger and safer future for all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I now want to invite Commissioner Brandy to make his introductory remarks, and again to commend him, as I've done privately today, to commend him publicly for his excellent leadership of the police services at this time, a leadership that has been marked with outstanding results. Performance does in fact matter, but people matter more.